Hey guys, Craig McCormick here from DestructivePixels.com, and today I got a very cool tutorial for you to show you how quick and easy it is to add your own branding to Lightroom. Like you can see here in my Lightroom interface, I actually have my brand name Destructive Pixels here, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually do that. Now I'm going up here to the Lightroom drop-down menu here at the top of the screen. For Windows, it will actually be the File menu, and you're actually looking for a thing called the Identity Plate Setup. It's a menu option that not a lot of people go to, and by default, your Lightroom probably looks like this. It probably says Adobe Lightroom 5 or Lightroom 4. I'm pretty sure this Identity Plate editor goes all the way back to like Lightroom 2 or maybe even Lightroom 1. So if you have Lightroom, you have this available to you to do. But what you do is in this Identity Plate menu here on the drop down menu, you just click on it and you go to the personalized option, and then when you open that up, you have the ability to actually create your own branding for the user interface here, and it actually gives you two options. It gives you a text-based identity plate, which is obviously like you can actually type out the name here. You can see it uses fonts and font colors and size and all the rest of it, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you can also use a graphical identity plate. Now, word of warning, I've actually played around a lot with this, and I found it to be really useless. Adobe don't give any specific size recommendations to use for graphics, so anything I've used has either looked too big and it goes way off screen and it cuts a whole big chunk of stuff off, and if you go too small, then it actually scales it up and cuts stuff off anyway. It's really strange and bizarre. I can't figure out how it works. If you actually want to play around with it because you have a very graphical based logo or something like that that you want to use, feel free to play around with it and actually leave a comment below or hit me up on Facebook or something like that and actually tell me how you did it, because I would love to know myself. I've really played around with it a lot and I can't figure it out for the life of me. So I would recommend steering away from that and just going text-based like I've done here. And as you can guess, it's really as simple as typing out your brand name or your personal name. And it actually uses all the fonts that are installed in your computer. So for instance here I use a font called Enzo OT, which is one of Creative Cloud's fonts from their package, and you have a couple of options. You can actually change the font size itself, but one thing to be careful of here is actually you can go past 36. I've noticed when you go to 48 it actually gets really quite big and actually starts to cut off the screen. I actually have an example here called Big Font Example, and as you can see here at the top, it just cuts it off, and that's when the font is at, hold on, let me just check here. Yeah, it's at 48 here, and it just gets really big and cumbersome and it cuts off. I actually don't know why they offer that. 48, 64, 72, they go way larger than they actually need to. So I would recommend sticking with 36 if you can. And it's actually not limited to just this window here. You can actually go past it. You can just keep typing away. And as you can see here, it drops down on the screen here, but actually inside Lightroom, it extends out. So you should be fine if you've got a really long name or something like that. And the cool thing is it actually supports font colors. So here, you can actually see, obviously, I've got my Pixels name in a different color, but if I wanted to go ahead and change this here, all I do is just highlight the text here and go to the little color swatch here, and it opens up Apple's color swatch thing, and you can actually change the color and see it happening in real time. If you actually keep an eye on the screen here up in the top left where my logo is, you can actually see the color changing in real time, which is very cool actually. So I'm just going to cancel out of that because I really don't need to change that color. Just go to my default, and you can actually change the module type interface and the colors as well. Obviously you can actually pick whatever font you want, but if you're going to go and add your own branding, especially if you have a font based brand logo, I would recommend keeping everything all the same, all in the same unison, simply because it's a lot easier that way and it looks a lot cleaner. Now, one very cool feature that it does support is templates. So say I go here and I actually just add my name. So let's just type it here really quick, Craig, and I want to keep the same color palette. I can then go ahead and just go to the drop down menu on the right past the personalized and go to save as, and I'm just going to call it CMC. Click save. Now, anytime I want to go in and say I just want to have my destructive pixels name, I can have that, or I just go down to the little drop down menu, and go CMC, and that changes it really nice and simply. Just click OK. And you're done, good to go. And that's very useful for people that work with a lot of different companies. Say you want to have a very specific Lightroom interface when you're working at a company, especially if you're doing something like a tethered shoot or something like that. You can make it very personalized for that company. This is a great feature to have that not a lot of people know exists. I'm actually doing this tutorial because a couple of people saw it in a recent video I had, where you see my Lightroom interface and you actually see the destructive pixels name there up in the top, and they were asking how I did that. And it's actually very simple. You just go, again, I'll show you again, just go to Lightroom menu or the file menu if you're in Windows, and you're looking for this identity plate setup option, and it opens up this little window here, and you can go ahead and add all your branding yourself. So hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. I've been Craig McCormick, and I'll catch you in the next one.